If you're a girl who always feels like an outsider, you don't need anyone to explain that feeling to you. You already know the weight of walking into a room and sensing that something inside you sits slightly apart from everyone else. You know how it feels when everyone else seems to understand an invisible script that you never received. And you know the quiet sting of watching people connect with ease while you sit there wondering why your mind works differently, why you notice things they don't, why your energy never seems to match theirs, no matter how much you try. It's not that you dislike people, it's not that you want to stay on the edges. It's that something in you learned early that you move through spaces in a different way, and even though you can blend in on the outside, your inner world stays on its own frequency. And it shows. Maybe not loudly, but it shows. For many girls who grow up feeling like outsiders, it starts earlier than they even remember. Sometimes the home you grew up in already made you feel separate. Maybe you were the quiet one in a loud family, or the sensitive one in a house where feelings were ignored. Maybe your interests never matched those around you, or you paid attention to things your parents or siblings dismissed. You might have watched your family talk over each other while you sat back, listening, thinking, analyzing, feeling more than anyone realized. Some girls grow up in families that don't understand their personality, so they adapt. They learn to stay quiet because speaking up never changed anything. They stop sharing their thoughts because no one actually heard them when they tried. They stop expecting to be included because the times they did join in, they felt misplaced. That's how the outsider feeling starts. Not from one painful moment, but from a slow accumulation of tiny experiences that shape the way you move through the rest of your life. By the time you're older, the pattern is set. You enter a room and your brain starts scanning without you even thinking about it. You pay attention to tone, energy, dynamics. You watch how people behave, how they connect, where you fit, and where you don't. And even though you're physically present, there's a part of you that stands slightly behind yourself, observing everything like you're both inside the situation and outside of it at the same time. This isn't a choice, it's a psychological adaptation that grows from feeling like the odd one out, long before you understood what that even meant. When you're young and you don't feel fully anchored to your own family, your mind learns how to survive by staying aware, staying cautious, staying separate enough to protect yourself. And in adulthood, that protective distance shows up everywhere. With friends, it shows up when people form deep bonds quickly, and you feel like they're all miles ahead of you emotionally. You don't open up as fast. You don't trust easily. You don't throw yourself into group dynamics without thinking. You might sit with people, laugh with them, listen to them, yet still feel removed, almost like there's a thin glass between you and everyone else. You hear everything, you participate, you smile, yet there's a quiet part of you thinking, I'm here, but I don't feel like I belong. At work, it shows up when people cluster into groups effortlessly, forming inside jokes and lunch plans while you stay focused on your tasks. You're not unfriendly. In fact, you're often the one people come to privately for help, or for calm, or for perspective. Yet the group energy never pulls you in naturally. You stand out in the sense that you don't play the social game the way others do. You don't try to impress. You don't jump into every conversation. You don't overshare. You stay in your lane, and it gives you a quiet sense of control, although it also deepens the feeling of being separate. In relationships, it shows up in a different way. When someone tries to get close to you, they feel an emotional wall that even you don't fully understand. You care deeply, yet you hesitate. You want connection, yet you protect yourself automatically. You analyze every interaction because you've learned that being too open can lead to disappointment. You take longer to trust, longer to relax, longer to feel safe. And even when you feel loved, there's a part of you that doesn't fully settle. The outsider feeling follows you like a shadow, whispering that you're still not completely inside anyone's world. Psychologists often describe this as a form of internal displacement. It's when someone carries a sense of emotional distance that developed before they even had language for it. It doesn't mean you're cold. It doesn't mean you're awkward. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means your mind learned early that the safest place to stand was slightly away from the center, where you could see everything clearly and never be blindsided. The irony is that people who feel like outsiders often have some of the richest inner worlds. You think deeply. You notice details others overlook. You reflect on meaning, intention, emotion, and patterns in a way that many people never do. You understand things on a level that makes surface conversation feel empty at times. You want connection, yet you crave connection that feels real, honest, grounded, not the shallow kind that most social environments rely on. So you hold yourself back until something feels authentic. And since authenticity is rare, you often stay quiet, or separate, or on your own. Another part of the outsider psychology is the way you relate to identity. When someone grows up without feeling fully seen by their family or peers, they start shaping their sense of self internally rather than externally. You don't define yourself by fitting into a group. You define yourself by your inner values, your thinking, your emotional truth. You don't chase trends. You don't shift yourself to match the room. You stay the way you are, and while that gives you strength, it also makes you feel out of place in spaces where everyone mirrors each other. There's also the emotional exhaustion that comes with always feeling different. You might overthink small interactions, wondering whether you said the right thing, whether you looked uncomfortable, whether people misunderstood you. You might replay conversations, looking for what you missed. You might assume people don't want you around because you've experienced that feeling so many times before. This creates a cycle where you isolate yourself as a protective instinct, even when a part of you wants to be included. On the other hand, there's a positive side to this psychology that people rarely talk about. Being an outsider teaches you things that others never learn. You develop independence early. You learn how to rely on your inner compass rather than the crowd. You grow comfortable with your own company. You sharpen your intuition. You learn to observe people deeply, which helps you avoid shallow situations and fake connections. Your sense of self doesn't depend on being chosen by a group, so you don't crumble when you're left out. You have a life inside your mind that feels full, even when the outside feels empty. However, there are moments when this outsider feeling hurts more than you admit. Holidays with your family might feel heavy because you feel out of sync with everyone. Gatherings with friends might leave you drained because you feel like you're playing along rather than genuinely connecting. At work, you might get overlooked because you're not loud or attention-seeking. In relationships, you might get misunderstood because you're not quick to express your feelings. You might have days when you wonder if something is wrong with you, when you ask yourself why you can hold conversations but still feel separate, when you question why you can be in a room full of people who like you, yet still feel alone. And the painful part is that this feeling can follow you no matter how much you grow, succeed, heal, or change. To understand why this feeling stays, you have to understand the deeper psychology behind it. A girl who grows up feeling different learns to live in her mind more than in her environment. Her thoughts become her comfort zone. Her inner world becomes her safest place. So, when she enters external spaces that don't match her internal depth, she feels the disconnect instantly. It's not that she wants to be apart. It's that her inner life is more intense, more layered, more sensitive, and more aware than the rooms she walks into. The outsider feeling is also tied to how you handle emotion. You might feel things more deeply, yet you don't show it easily. You might understand people better than they understand themselves, yet you stay quiet about it. You might sense tension, shifts, moods, or unspoken truths before anyone says a word. This emotional intelligence makes you different, and while it's a strength, it also makes you feel separate because most people don't process life the way you do. There's also the identity conflict that many outsiders carry. You want connection, yet you hate fake interaction. You want closeness, yet you fear being misunderstood. You want people around you, yet you're exhausted by surface-level engagement. You want to belong, yet you refuse to shrink yourself to fit in. You want to be seen, yet you avoid attention. It's a constant push and pull that shapes how you move through life. Interestingly, people around you don't always see you as an outsider. In fact, some might describe you as mysterious, or independent, or private. They might admire your self-control or your calm presence. They might seek your advice because you're thoughtful. They might trust you more than you trust them. Yet none of this erases the internal feeling that you're standing slightly apart from everyone. In relationships, partners sometimes misinterpret your distance as lack of interest, when in reality it's your way of protecting yourself from getting attached too quickly. Friends may think you're hard to read because you don't open up in the same way they do. Family may assume you're strong or self-sufficient not realizing you learned to be that way after years of feeling unseen. What most people don't realize is that the outsider feeling often comes from a mixture of sensitivity, intelligence, and emotional depth. You feel more, see more, think more, understand more, and as a result, you connect differently. You don't plug into groups the way others do. You plug into individuals, moments, meaning, truth. That makes you stand out, although not in a loud way. You stand out in the quiet ways that most people never notice, yet you feel them deeply. Being an outsider doesn't mean you're doomed to live separate from everyone. It means your path to connection is different. You thrive in one-on-one conversations, not large crowds. You open up slowly, not instantly. You connect through depth, not noise. You bond through honesty, not performance. Your relationships may be fewer, but they're real. Your friendships may be selective, but they're meaningful. Your love may take longer to develop, but it's strong and honest when it happens. The outsider feeling is not a flaw. It's a reflection of how you adapted to life. It's part of your story. It's part of your psychology. And even though it makes life complicated at times, it also gives you strengths that people who always fit in never learn. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.